Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the 22nd Annual Family Cafe. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Jeremy Countryman, Program Director, still here at the event, like I have been the last couple weeks, and I'm still here with Joe.
As am I. Yes,
Joe,
good
how's
morning.
it going?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning to you. So it's Tuesday, and I like alliteration and I like themes, so I'm calling this Two Sponsor Tuesday.
Nice.
We got two sessions today right now, the one you're on that you're watching, and of course another one at 2 o'clock. And they're both brought to us by sponsors of this year's event, Career Source Florida and their network of local Career Source offices will be doing this morning's presentation. And then we have Disability Rights coming back this afternoon at 2 o'clock with their session. So let's talk a little bit about what we have going on this morning and how it's going to work. So we have a session called Let's Get Started, Navigating Training, Education, Job Readiness, and Employment Opportunities through the Workforce System with our presenters Melanie McGill from Career Source Broward and Elsa DeGoyas from Career Source Palm Beach. And as with all our sessions, we try to make them as interactive as possible. So how does that work, Joe?
So toward the end of the presentation, or anytime during the presentation, if you have any questions, please type them into the comment section on Facebook Live, and we will be monitoring those, and I will ask those questions to our speakers at the end.
Absolutely. So we have some great information on how you can get some assistance with employment and employment readiness in this morning's presentation. Excited to hear about it. So with that, we'll hand it over to our presenters.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Career Source. How can we help you? We're going to be talking about the Career Source Centers and how they can help you through your education or job readiness and job placement assistance. So Career Source in general, we are the people side of economic development. We operate one-stop centers throughout the state. We oversee state and local employees and administrators, and we are the administrators of the welfare transition and the food stamp programs, which is called SNAP. We see all levels of job seekers. So we see entry-level job seekers and all the way up to executive level positions. We operate out of school youth programs, and we act as the Career Source Centers and Career Source. We act as conveners. We bring partners together. We sit around the table and see how we can help people obtain employment. And we are the source for labor market information locally. So each of the state's local workforce development areas uses a geographical locator or regional identifier after their name. So on the phone today, we have myself from Career Source Broward, and we have Elsa, who's from Career Source Palm Beach County. So there are local Career Source Florida network partners can be found at careersourceflorida.com. And what we're going to show you is just a map of the areas. So this map shows you all the Career Source boards in the state of Florida. So anywhere you live, you can find a Career Source Center near you. So for instance, if you live in Jefferson County, you would go to Region 6, which is Career Source North Florida. In Palm Beach County, they're called Region 21. And in Broward, we're 22. So you can look anywhere on that website, careersourceflorida.com, and you can find your local center, and you can click on, those are all live links, and you can click on and look for the Career Source Center in your area. So we're going to talk now about what services does a Career Source Center offer to people looking for a job. So most of the Career Source Centers, we offer assessments, career plans, coaching. We've seen over 100,000 people a year just in Broward. I know Career Source Palm Beach County probably sees close to the same amount of people. So we see a lot of people a year coming into our centers. We have workshops on resume writing, soft skills, interviewing techniques, financial education, social media, and others. And right now, due to COVID-19, we're doing our workshops online. We have tuition vouchers that we can help pay for school, books, uniforms, and tools. We have on our websites throughout the state, we have what's called an individual training account list. So you can go online and look to see what schools and what courses at those schools we will pay for. Of course, everything is based on eligibility. We have support services we provide. We have access to comprehensive job listings, resume postings. We have access to phones and copiers, internet, fax machines. People are still using faxes. We have job and salary trend information. We all have veterans preferences. So if somebody's a veteran, they get preference in the centers. We have assistive technology in our centers, and we also have interpreter services, not only sign language interpreters, but foreign language as well. So what does Career Source Center offer people with disabilities? People with disabilities have access to all programs, services, tools, and resources. We have reasonable accommodations. If somebody needs an accommodation, we can provide those. We have assistive technology in our centers. We provide individual assistance if needed. We have alternate format of materials. We have interpreters to facilitate communication. We have personal readers, and we have other resources that are available through the Career Source Centers and the internet that we can help with. And about 17 out of the 24 workforce boards, career centers in the state have ticket to work programs. Palm Beach County as well as Broward County have a ticket to work program. So what can we do with ticket to work? What ticket to work is a way for people to get employment assistance through a specialized program where they can meet one-on-one with ticket to work case managers. So what they do is they'll develop what's called an individual work plan with the customer. We'll look at the goals that the customer has and how we can help you achieve those goals. We provide placement assistance. We provide access to other community resources. We provide referrals for employment. And one of the things I like to tell people is we don't have a job in our back pocket for people, but we do have ways to help with referrals. We help with the resume. We look at your resume. We help with job applications. We can refer to training in our Workforce Investment and Opportunity Act program. We can also have our case managers work with it's called WIOA or WIOA case managers, so we can sit together and look at the training options. We have information on work opportunity tax credits, which is something an employer can use, and we can teach you how to explain those to an employer. We have federal bonding services, and what that is, it helps with people who have either a criminal record, no job history, a poor credit history, and we can help bond those people in jobs. We assist with accommodation requests. We teach customers how to ask for accommodations and when to ask for them. We have apprenticeship programs. We have industry sector information, labor market information, and some of the centers, some of the workforce boards have benefits planning people on staff. And we do in Palm Beach and Broward County. So we also offer services for employers. So we want to make that match for the job seeker and the employer. We want to make that right fit to the right job at the right time. So we have job listings and pre-screening sometimes we'll do for employers. And this is all through Employ Florida. So Employ Florida is our state database that we use to help match job seekers with employers. We have a resume bank that employers can go in and look for potential applicants that meet their requirements. We provide employers with salary and other labor market information. If an employer is asking for $10 an hour, but they want somebody with a master's degree, we'll go in and tell the employer, that might not be the best wage that you're paying right now. So we try and educate employers as well. We help employers with recruitment services. So we do, before COVID-19 hit, we were doing on-site recruitments in our centers. And now what we're doing is we're doing virtual recruitments for employers. We help employers with training reimbursements. We do on-the-job training and work experience and internships. where we'll pay the person's salary for a period of time. And we also provide the employer information on the work opportunity tax credits, the federal bonding. We help employers with assistance with accommodation requests. If they're not sure how they can help a potential job seeker, we'll help them and teach them on what may be the best equipment if somebody needs a piece of assistive technology. We also have training grants with employers, apprenticeship programs, and industry information with them as well. We also have out-of-school youth programs. So we help youth 17 to 24 get their high school diploma, obtain a post-secondary degree. We help them receive an internship in alignment with the youth education and career pathway. We help by giving them guidance from devoted and caring adults, and we get them placed into jobs. Elsa, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I just want to say good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. Actually, Melanie, you did an amazing job. Palm Beach County and Broward County have very similar support services, and we're here to support Broward and support all of you in anything that we need. I think you've covered it all.
Is there any questions?
Melanie, yeah, we have a couple of questions here, and thank you for that. We appreciate it. So how does it work with social distancing in your office right now? If somebody is concerned about that, can they still be a part of the program? How does that work?
Of course, what they can do is they can call our main numbers for the centers and look at our websites, because I could tell you for Broward, and also I'll have you tell them for Palm Beach. In Broward, we have all our workshops that we're doing online is listed on our website. You can call the center, and for instance, if somebody's interested in the Ticket to Work program, we have that number on our website, and they can call and they'll reach a staff member who can work with them one-on-one with the social distancing, and they don't have to come into the center at all.
Okay.
Elsa?
Yes, Palm Beach County, again, very similar. We are actually trying to keep our clients very safe. So we're doing everything virtual, from job fairs to one-on-ones. We're doing virtual appointments. And also all our information is on our website, or you can email us to ttwteam@careersourcepbc.com. But if you don't remember that, it's fine. You can look at CareerSource Palm Beach County, and all that information is on our website, our phone number, and all our supports. But yes, we are trying to do everything as virtual as we can to make sure everybody stays safe.
Great, great. So Melanie, do you guys work with youth with disabilities on pre-employment services?
Yes, we do, but they have to be a VR referral.
Okay.
So we are a VR vendor, and if somebody's interested in that and they want to work with CareerSource Broward, VR would have to do the referral for that.
It's interesting you bring that up, because that was a question that had occurred to me, actually. We've had VR as a presenter earlier in our virtual event. I was kind of curious if you could explain a little bit what the relationship is between VR and the CareerSource network. How do they complement each other? Where do they overlap? How are they
Sure.
different? Things like that.
Well, actually, one of the seats on the board has to be a representative from VR. So they are on our board. We have a very close relationship with VR. We are a vendor for VR, like our other workforce boards. So we're a vendor for VR for the Partnership Plus program, which is a program for somebody who closes positively from VR, and they want to continue with follow-up or other employment. We can provide that service. There's the WIPA services, the Work Incentive Planning Assistance, that we can also help provide, and the pre-employment and training. So we work collaboratively with VR. Some of our customers are the same.
So if someone's already a VR client and is interested in accessing CareerSource's network, they can go through their VR counselor to get connected to you. in
Correct.
addition to going to you
For
directly?
those vendor services, but anybody can come in and use our services, just to look for a job or just to come in and do the workshops.
Okay.
Good. Melanie, do you have to receive SSDI or SSI to participate in Ticket to Work?
Yes. Ticket to Work is for those that are 18 to retirement age, are on SSI or SSDI, and are looking to work or go to school.
Okay.
But the main outcome of Ticket to Work is employment.
Gotcha. Okay, how about this one? And this is a little bit redundant, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Would a person with disabilities with little work experience through high school be able to seek assistance through CareerSource in conjunction with VR?
Sure. Yes, they can.
Okay.
Anybody can come in and receive services through both agencies, especially if they want to come in and register through Employ Florida. They can do their own job searches. They can come in and we have people in our resource rooms helping us with assistance with looking for jobs. We have placement specialists. So yes, they can receive services from both.
Gotcha. So I have a question. Talk a little bit about how does it work on the employer side? How do you get the leads? How do you guys interface with, the employers, who are trying to get lined up with, have jobs for people? How do you guys interface with the employers?
We have a business services team.
Okay.
That goes out to the employers and talks to the employers and see what their needs are. And then they bring in job orders. They bring in on the job training agreements that we can place people in, internship agreements. So we have the business services side of the house goes out to meet with the employers, brings in those job orders. Then we have staff that work with the job seekers to match them to those job orders.
Gotcha. How about this one? If we live in a county with no apprentice positions or Ticket to Work, can we work in a different county?
Okay, that's a little trickier. So Ticket to Work, yes, you can work in a neighboring county. Apprenticeships, as long as they're not too far, you're not asking the CareerSource to pay for the apprenticeship or help refer, because when we have different workforce boards, we get our funding that way. So we have to usually serve people in our county. But for Ticket to Work, you do not have to. So if you don't have a Ticket to Work in your area, you can call another area that's next to you, and you can go through their Ticket to Work program.
Okay. I see. So Ticket to Work is sort of state and allows you to cross into different areas.
Correct.
Gotcha. It kind of something that occurs to me as a follow-up to that. I know this is an issue for a lot of job seekers with disabilities. How does CareerSource facilitate transportation? Is there any kind of linkage there between, transportation networks within counties and CareerSource, or is that something that people have to sort of deal with independently?
Well, there's two answers, I guess, to that question. If somebody has their own transportation and they need assistance with a bus pass or a gas card, we can sometimes help with that depending on what the funding stream is, if it allows for it. But like in Broward, I know we have TOPS, which is the door-to-door service if people need, so we can help facilitate that application.
Okay.
All right. This is, I think, the last one I have here. And this is actually worth repeating because you sort of mentioned it, but maybe you could kind of go over it a little bit. And that is, do you have the same services across locations? That's part one. Part two is, do you serve people with intellectual disabilities?
Yes. Basically, we have the same services throughout all the CareerSource centers. Not all have the same maybe level of service or the Ticket to Work program. But yes, we have everybody uses Employ Florida. So that's the database that we all use. So that would be in every single county in the state. We all have job placement assistance. So most of the basic services are all the same. And yes, we do serve people with intellectual disabilities. We serve anyone that comes into our center.
Gotcha.
We just have the specialized Ticket to Work program where we work with just, 18 to retirement age and those on SSI or SSDI, which is a specific program that we have case managers for, but we serve anybody that comes into our center with or without disabilities.
Gotcha.
Yeah, speaking of Ticket to Work and SSI and SSDI, somebody asked whether or not accessing Ticket to Work has any kind of impact on people's benefits that they're receiving through SSI.
If they get a job, yes, it will impact their benefits, but they have to look at what work incentives maybe that they could use. That's why, like in Palm Beach and Broward, we have staff that have been trained on benefits counseling, so they could always reach out to their area CWIC, which is a certified work incentive counselor, to help understand how working will impact their benefits.
Okay, so it's got to be a little bit different for each individual, but
Yeah.
you kind of work
Correct.
with people to figure out how that works in their case, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, those are the questions that we have. And we appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for the presentation. We appreciate it. And we'll just say that if you have other questions or comments, please put that in the comment section on the Facebook Live portion of this, and we will take a look at those, and I'm sure you guys will as well. And we can potentially answer later questions offline.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much for being here today. Here at the Family Cafe, we certainly support employment for people with disabilities. We always include an employment track in our in-person event. So, if you're thinking about getting a job, if you're wondering whether or not that's something that would be a possibility for you, given your benefits or your disability, there are a lot of resources available in the state to help you with that. And Career Source Florida and all their local offices are really a great place to go. So we certainly encourage you to reach out and, just try to figure out what works for you as an individual. Take the time to do it. It's worth the effort. Of course, we also want to make sure that we thank Career Source Florida for being a sponsor of this year's event. I'm very happy to have them here working with us to get people with disabilities employed in our state. Coming up at 2:00, we have another one of our sponsors, as I mentioned earlier, here in our Two Sponsor Tuesday.
That's right. It's Disability Rights Florida
Yes.
with Ann Siegel, navigating the roadblocks when the IEP team cannot agree. So that's important.
Yes, that'll be a very
session.
interesting session. Of course, Disability Rights is the protection and advocacy organization here in the state of Florida. They're here primarily to advocate for and protect the rights of people with disabilities. And we know that education and the IEP process is an important part of the disability world, something people have a lot of questions about. So we're looking forward to having Ann here to talk to us about that this afternoon.
Yes.
I also want to remind you, while you're here, don't forget, we're looking for your feedback for a couple of different reasons. When you registered, you got a packet in the mail that includes a pink card and a report card. The pink card is the way you can submit your questions and comments about any aspect of the state's disability service delivery system. And we get answers to all those pink card questions, and we put together a resource guide called the Questions and Answers book that we publish each fall. So please do send those in. We also sent out a report card to you that lets us know how you think we're doing, how you enjoyed the event. And now that we're getting towards the end, nearly, it's probably a good time for you to start thinking about how you enjoyed the whole thing, what topics you might want to see included in future and things of that nature. I also want to remind you that both of those are available through our smartphone app. So if you did download the smartphone app, you can go to the survey tab in that app and find both the report card and the pink card. If you haven't opened your app since you were at the conference last year, like magic, if you find it on your phone and open it right now, all of this year's information will be in there. So that's pretty cool.
It is.
And the coolest thing about the whole pink card, report card thing, of course, is that when you send those in with your return address, we will send you a free gift. We have Nikki downstairs putting all of those gifts in little envelopes and mailing them out like a Christmas elf.
Working feverishly.
Yes. So please give her more work to do. Send in those cards and pink cards.
Great.
All right. Well, I guess that caps it off until we get back at what time?
2:00.
2:00 this afternoon. So again, Thanks to Career Source Florida and our presenters, and we will look forward to seeing you at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
See you at 2 o'clock, everybody. Thank you.